Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's DLloyd. So now we have had a few days to play EA Sports College Football 25, and I am here today to give you guys my impressions and how I feel about the game, the gameplay, Dynasty mode. I have yet to touch Ultimate Team. Maybe I'll do that in the future, and how I feel about Road to Glory now that we actually have the game in our hands. I can give you guys my thoughts, and right away I'm going to say I love this game. It has some problems, it has some flaws. We'll talk about some of that here in this video, but I love the game. In the background, I just needed some gameplay footage for the background, so I just played a quick online head-to-head game, and that's what's going to be in the background. The opponent ended up quitting, so I don't know. Hopefully I can get that gameplay long enough for this video. Hopefully this video is not too long. But anyway, the gameplay, let's start there. That is the core pillar of any video game, right? Does it play good? Is it fun to play? And I'm going to tell you right now, this game is fun to play. Now, it is not the most realistic game in the world. It is not, you know, true to the core simulation, but it is fun. The best EA games, Madden, NCAA games, in my opinion, were the PS2 variants of the games. NCAA 12 was also up there, and 11 was also up there, but I believe the PS2 versions were the best. Now, to me, they are a little bit more arcadey, but I am one of those people that believe a video game should be based on realism, but it should always remember that it is a video game, right? I don't really want to grind out to get 3.5 yards of carry, right? Like, if I was playing NBA 2K, I don't really want to shoot 35% from 3. Like, it's still a video game. I still want to do some crazy stuff. I could break tackles on this. The juke moves are crazy. The spin moves are crazy. Hit sticks are crazy, but it's not overdone. It's still in the realm of realism, and I really enjoyed the game. Now, the speed of the game is definitely a lot faster than Madden. Now, when it comes to the difference between Madden 25 from the beta and this, I will say the college football is a funner game, in my opinion. It's a funner, more fluid experience. I will say the boom tech that is in Madden 25, I think is better, so you will see better animations. I do think the run game is a little bit smoother, a little bit better in Madden, but for college, you have more of a wide open gameplay. It just feels like there's more freedom to do certain things, maybe because of the hash marks and the wide field and the speed of the game, but all of that blend in to me having more fun with this game. So that the playbooks are huge, and there are a ton of differences within playbooks. Now, what they differ head-to-head is that you have to play with that team's playbook. So if you pick Georgia, you have to use Georgia's playbook. In the background of this video, you see me playing right now. I use Wake Forest. I'm using their playbooks. Now, each team has their own strengths or weaknesses to the playbook. I understand why they don't want you switching and basically picking the best playbook and pairing it with the best team. So if you want to use that playbook, you have to pick that team. You will see throughout this gameplay that I have in the background me testing out the walk variants of the RPOs. A lot of those are in Wake Forest's playbook. They're hit and miss. They're hit and miss. Sometimes they work like a charm, but if you blitz it or bring pressure, it's not going to work at all. But those are the things that make the game better, right? Oklahoma, they have those wide formations. So does Tennessee, Baylor, I believe. I'm not sure if any other school does it, but I know for sure those 3 schools do it. You see the very wide splits, and it puts you in a situation where, do I come out in man defense to match up hat for a hat, or do I try to stay in the zone but know I could be outnumbered in a certain situation if I do that, but I have more protection in the run game? You can see more conflicts like that when it comes to the playbooks, and I definitely like that. On defense, you can adjust your coverage shell, so I could come out in a cover 3 look and run a cover 2, or run a cover 4, or come out in a cover 4 look and run a cover 6 or cover 9. Those are really cool as well. Just to kind of switch things up. There's no baseline anymore, but to give a different look. When you play online and not a lot, you obviously know how to read coverages. So does your opponent. So it kind of just throws a little wrinkle in there to kind of switch things up. I do not know, to my knowledge, if it impacts against the computer. I just been running the default coverage shell against the computer, but that's something I'm not really sure of. The option game feels great. They switched it up, so it's flipped from the old days in NCAA football 14, where now if you don't press anything, you hand the ball off. To take the ball out, you will have to press A on Xbox or X on PlayStation 5 to pull the football away and keep it with your quarterback. So it's completely flipped. Once you get used to it, it's fine. The option game feels good. The different types of pitches feel good. You have your power pitch if you hold the left bumper or L1, which takes a little bit longer to execute, but is more accurate, and you can kind of get a little bit of a speed boost by catching it in stride. If you tap it, you get it out quickly, but there's a chance that you may have to turn around to catch the football, which could slow you down. And of course, you double tap it to do a fake pitch. Those are all very, very cool elements of the game. I feel like defenders break better on the football as well, but the pursuit angles also aren't as good. Now, when you have a good player, so say you have a Caleb Downs, or you have a very good safety, their pursuit angles are actually good. I think this is going to come down to ratings and the rating variances in the game. So by default, most college players aren't NFL players, so you do see worse angles. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the game. I think it's just kind of how it is with the ratings taking over. You get a guy with good pursuit, they don't really take awful angles. So that's one thing that I kind of had to understand, but it makes total sense when I think about it from that perspective. So I really enjoyed it. Switch stick, one of the best features that I've seen in Madden, or not Madden, in a college game or EA game in a long time. Being able to use that right stick to move from the safety to the cornerback or whatever, that could definitely help. And once you master that, is good. Revamped passing is new, and I have been using it. I know some people have gone back to the Madden version of the accuracy and placement. I am still using revamped passing. It took a little bit to get used to, but I like the trajectory of the ball. I'm able to get it over the top, put it in the breadbasket. I'm getting used to it. You still have a lot of control with that left stick. You don't see the reticle though, like if you are freeform passing, but just trust it. You're going to be able to get the ball where you want to get it. Just take some time, get used to it, and you're fine. So I'm definitely a fan of that. Kicking, same thing. Took a little while to get used to, but it's fine. Just give it a chance to get better, and you will be okay. So gameplay wise, I enjoyed. They did have a lot of fumbles early. I will say that, a lot of fumbles. I feel like since even the last patch has been turned down a little bit, but there's still fumbles in the game. Make sure you're covering the ball and not trying to juke and spin into defenders at all times, and I think you will be okay. The CPU playing on the road, playing LSU. You guys see my stream when the game came out. LSU washed me. Playing against Georgia, Alabama, those types of schools on the road, especially if your quarterback is not composed, is going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be tough, and you are going to feel the effects of playing on the road when it comes to not being able to hot route or audible, to even, not having the player icons when you're trying to throw the football. Those things kind of get in your head, especially when you're down, and you can see those. If you don't stay with them and you get down at a tough atmosphere like at LSU, like at Alabama, now you can start to compound mistakes, and the next thing you know, I was winning this game, and now I'm down by 30. That happened to me against Alabama or Western Kentucky. We were up at halftime, and then we lost by like 30. So those are really cool moments. I definitely enjoyed that a lot. So speaking of that Dynasty mode experience, let's talk about Dynasty mode, because there's lots of love. There's quite a few things that I feel like EA missed the mark on, and there's quite a few bugs that I have encountered along the way. On the base level of Dynasty mode, I think it's a very good Dynasty mode. I am a fan of the recruiting and how they have the recruiting system played out. I like it a lot. I do think that it's kind of the best of both worlds, at least as close as they could get, right? It doesn't take as long as the NCAA football 13 and before system, where you got to call every single recruit, but you still feel like you are somewhat trying to connect with these players, figure out what their motivations are, try to pitch them, sway their pitch, but it is set and forget. So once you get to the contact stage, right, once they get down to the top 5 schools, you can now switch from sending the house or contacting friends and family to now I'm going to go ahead and give you this hard pitch. And once you do that, you can just keep that there for the next few weeks, right? So it is set and forget, so it doesn't take crazy amount of time. The initial setup will, but after that, you can't get in and out. So I am a big fan of that. I have encountered glitches where I've been unable to bring in a recruit for a visit. It kept saying, wait until the recruit is down to the top 5 schools. And I'm looking at it like, yo, he's down to top 3. Like, we were way past top 5. And it would not allow me under any circumstance to bring in the player for the visit. And I have more than enough hours left to be able to get that done. So quite a few bugs. And I don't know if it's purposely made like this, but when you look at athletes or quarterbacks, or the scrambling athletic quarterbacks, they all have like 90 speed, 95, 93 throw power, or 94 speed, 94 throw power. Like, they are very crazy when it comes to the rating. Those are the quarterbacks you want. Just look at athletes, look for a scrambler with the archetype, and bam, that's probably your next quarterback. Improviser is going to get you around 76, like 84-ish speed, and then your pocket passer or field generals are your best passers, but you're only going to get about 70 to like 75 speed out of those players. And I don't know if it's really worth going after any of those when you have such a significant speed advantage, and these athletic quarterbacks aren't that far off when it comes to passing neither. That is one thing I did notice about it. Another thing I just don't understand is when it comes to recruiting athletes, it gives you the archetype. So while you're recruiting the athlete, it's telling you like, hey, he's a power back or he's an agile lineman. That kind of, I don't want to say defeats the purpose of the athlete, but it kind of tells you what they are. You don't have to look at their ratings and kind of figure out what they are. But also at the same time, if I'm looking at an athlete and I'm trying to recruit him, I'm looking at his tape, I'm seeing positions that he plays. So maybe it's not that far off, but that is one thing I did notice about it. The sim engine in Dynasty mode is bad. It is bad. And what I mean by that is when you send me like games, there are a ton of upsets. Like Ohio State in my first online Dynasty, I think they lost 5 games. There are a ton of teams. The number 1 team was Notre Dame, and I believe they had 3 losses on their record. To random teams, is really like 50-50 shot at who's going to win. I think Vandy destroyed Georgia, or Texas it was. So very hit and miss. Heisman winners also feel like they don't 100% make sense to me. Like, they're good players that end up winning the Heisman, but a lot of times they are not the best player when you look at the stats, and I don't understand how that really came into play. So a few things that I do think need to get tweaked and adjusted, but overall, the blueprint, the foundation of it, it's a solid game mode. Not the best Dynasty mode ever, but it's good. It's good. I like the transfer portal. That is a cool feature in there as well. I like the recruiting. Gameplay feels good. It doesn't feel as immersive when it comes to the rest of the teams, right? You don't have the in-game breaks where it's telling you the scores. They do have them at the bottom ticker, but unless you're listening to it, you don't really know, right? They do have the game break from the announcers or the commentator, but it's not visually showing up and following the scores like the old NCAA Football 14 games had them. So that feels good. Road to Glory, I do know there is a glitch. If you take underdog, I believe you set the minutes to 15 minutes, something like that. You can then glitch out and become like a 90 something overall in the course of a week. Now, I have not done it, but I have seen plenty of people showing it and talking about it on Twitter or X, and I think I had a friend that did it as well. So quite a few people have experienced that. But from my perspective, I made 2 players. I made a 5-star guy. It was cool. We lost almost every game. 5-star cornerback just because the sim engine is pretty bad. Then I made an underdog running back, and I did not play for 2 years, 2 seasons before I was able to start. So if you pick the underdog route, maybe you have a different career. I know one of my friends said they did the underdog route and they were fine. They were able to play and it didn't take that long. So I was unfortunate where it took me 2 seasons before I was able to see the field. But Road to Glory, definitely a fun mode, especially if you like the career modes. One of the best ones from EA in a long time, way better than Superstar mode and Long Shot and things like that. I'm a fan of it. I like not being able to call your plays, but some of the play calling is a little questionable. but I like that you don't call the plays when it comes to that. And you know you can't export him to superstar mode in Madden 25. Hopefully it's the same way where you don't call your plays there neither, and everything will be great for me. So Road to College Football Playoff is your online head-to-head. They have your little structures where you're trying to win a national championship, almost like divisions like FIFA had. I haven't played that many games, but it's a fun game mode as well. It kind of gives you some type of incentive to keep going and play when it comes to online play. So those are my initial thoughts. I'm enjoying it. I've played this game entirely too much the last few days. I'm very much enjoying this game. Love the gameplay, extremely fun. Dynasty mode is fun, has some issues. I'm sure they'll get tweaked out as you go. Hopefully EA add crossplay to that. We do know Team Builder is supposed to be dropping tonight with the official release of the game. I obviously have not tried that at all, so I don't know. Road to Glory sounded fun. I just haven't done anything with it yet. I probably will, since I have the pre-order bonuses. Give it a shot and go from there. So you guys let me know, what do you guys think about the game? Is it a dub so far? Are you enjoying it? How's y'all dynasties going? Road to Glory is going? Let me know all that stuff in the comment section below. If you have criticism of the game, things that you want to see improved, or things that are just bothering you, let me know that as well. Because it's a game, they're going to have issues, and I don't know. I want to be able to download playbooks, and I can't do that neither. I don't know why. I can't even make a playbook. Like, I tried to make one, it told me I had to have a play for all the scenarios and the situations for the game plan. I did, and it was not letting me save it. So that's another glitch that I had as well. And I sat there for like 2 hours making this playbook, and it did not save. So I was definitely upset about that. I should have talked about that earlier. I just thought about it when I thought about playbooks. But let me know what y'all think about the game, man. This is getting long. Don't want this to be too long. Hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already. DLloyd, I'm see y'all next time. Peace.